What is happening, y'all? Welcome on back to the walkthrough. So episode 8 is going to be focused on this lower region. Now this is technically considered Southern Limgrave, but in particular, when you enter this region, the map you find calls it the Weeping Peninsula, so that's what we're going to be referring to it as. But we are starting things off from the Church of Pilgrimage, and we're basically just going to work our way around, hitting everything that we need to here. And the first thing we're going to hit, which will be especially nice for my spell boys out there, we are going to go pick you up a legendary summon. Now the reason I'm saying for my spell boys is because all the legendary summons cost over 100 FP, which is pretty steep. You know, it's more than you're probably going to invest in mind for a strength build or dex or quality. I mean, towards the late game, it might be worth getting FP for those, but early game, you're just not going to have it. Whereas a caster who needs, they need that FP to cast, they most likely will have it. But either way, into Tombsward Catacombs we go. I want to say, I think this is a skelly one. I'm gonna put that on. Yeah, it's a skelly one. Okay. So right here, another stoneward door. Behind this is going to be a recipe for something called the Rancor Pot. And what the Rancor Pot does is it creates little spirits that will go and attack stuff. So if you want to throw out, it's like a fire pot, but it creates little darkness spirits. You know, if you want that, that's on y'all. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna get it. I'm never gonna use that item. There are other things I would rather use my keys for, but I'm gonna let you know what's there. That's where we got to get to, is that thing. For those that are confused about how we are killing all the skeletons instantly, we're using a weapon that has a holy enchantment on it. This holy enchant up. I want to say it was back in episode 2 that we got it, but it's super useful for these early game catacombs because, no more respawning skeletons. But if you don't have that, make sure you whack them when they're on the ground like that. Until we're in a room with more skellies to use it because I'm running out. Which on the note of using weapon arts, so if you look on the left, just above where my flasks and everything are, you'll notice it says Sacred Blade. Right now, that means that, one, Sacred Blade is the Asher Boar that I have equipped, and two, the fact that you can see it like that means that I have enough FP to still use it. Now right here, I'm going to do a Sacred Blade, and you can see how now it's kind of faded out, and there is a line through it. When you see that, you no longer have enough to cast it again. So if I want to do any more, gotta... Oh, no. Oh, there we go. We got it. Okay, that was close. Rune. That. Let's see. Just making sure there's nobody that's going to... really kill as many of these guys as I can while I got my buff active. It's gonna open the gate. We could go back, but there's some more stuff down here. In general, that's a good tip. Almost anytime you're stuck in one of these tombs, if you've been exploring on your own or you're not sure, the game is a big fan of elevator trickery. And what I mean by this is, there's going to be areas like this thing where you're going to need to either knock them down and then ride them up, or the alternative, which you'll also see a lot, is elevators where you jump on them and they start going up, and below the elevator there's actually something you can get. We got our prattling pate. We got our grave lovestone. Oh my goodness. I did not come all the way down here to die to some skeletons. Y'all need to go away. I find jumping heavy attacks are one of the best ways to get those operated. Now that the boss is down, not the boss, excuse me. Now that we got all the skellies down, we can head this way and finish this place up. It was right up at the top. Oh, how close is it? Never hurts to fully replenish flasks before a boss fight. You know what? I'll be fine. If I die, usually in these catacombs, there's a stake of Marika. So when we go into the boss fight, if we do end up dying because we didn't have our summon, you spawn right here. You don't, like, you know, spawn outside or anything. And y'all have already seen the damage we can do. Unless your name is Crucible Knight, you're not going to stand a chance. Oh, bleed is scary. This is exactly why I picked us up a weapon that has bleed. Bleed can just do absolutely staggering damage. Like, it's honestly, it's terrifying. And it's good. It's really good. To be honest, I would not be surprised if bleed ends up getting a nerf. I mean, it's really strong. It is really, really strong. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully they don't nerf it too bad. I feel like they're going to, just because it's too strong. But just to show off the guy we just got. Where'd he go? Here we go. Leyndell Headless. As you can see, 104 FP cost, which we only have 68. He's decent. He has a beefy great shield along with the spear. He can throw the spear at enemies, so a little bit of range combat, a little bit of melee combat. If you are playing a caster, this is probably going to be the best summon you'll have access to for a while. So I would suggest just roll with him. You know, there's a lot of summons and there's a lot of variety out there, but it's going to be really hard to beat the legendary summons. And especially if you're playing as a caster and you need something up front, you're not going to find anything to compare to that for a while. So we have a stake, which is the only reason we're going after this guy, even though we're already, you know, really low and no healing. I'm going to see if I can get him down before he nukes me. These are the Erdtree avatars. Anytime you go to an Erdtree, with the exception of the one that was over in the Mistwood, you're going to end up fighting one of these things. Oh, so close. I mean, lucky you did no healing. That attack right there, that's the only thing you really need to look out for. Well, actually, there's two. There's the jump butt slam, that can hurt. And then they also have an attack where they will summon up like a bunch of holy lasers in the sky, and those will shoot down at you. So just be aware of those two. Also, the stuff that they shoot will go right through the pots, so definitely be aware of what they're doing. But otherwise, these guys aren't bad, and they're worth doing. You're going to get a bunch of souls from them. And on top of that, probably the more important thing is killing these guys are how we get new upgrades for our flask. Not like our healing flask, but our make your own flask. Leave Mr. Jellyfish alone! Opaline Bubble Tier and Crimson Burst Crystal Tier. Both of those are fantastic. So we are going to head back on over to the church. There's a couple things around here. I guess we can point them out. We're over here. Let's just grab them. Nothing really of value. I think there's like a shield you can grab, but it's crap. A couple different enemies that are just kind of hanging around. I think it's right up here. That's Sanctuary Stone. Where was the shield? I thought there was a shield I grabbed when I was out here. Well, it's not a very good shield either way. So let's warp back over to the church. We're going to replenish some stuff. And we're going to change up our flask a little bit. We're looking on other key items. 1 seed. Okay, that's it. So when it comes to your flask, excuse me, not your flask, your Wondrous Physic, this is purely going to be preference. I really like these two for a melee build because extra stamina is going to be great, and the extra boost to the charge attack I like a lot. But the two we just picked up are fantastic for general use. This is going to be a good, steady HP restore, which is going to help a lot if you're in areas that have poison. And the Opaline Bubble Tier is one of the most broken things in the game. I like this a lot. I'll put this on just to showcase it. But this gives you a bubble. And that bubble lasts a while. We're talking like just a long time. Let me mark up some stuff. We got to hit that, that, and then that. But it'll give you a bubble around your character that serves as a shield, and it will almost completely negate the damage out from any single attack. Now this is important because it's going to be the first attack that hits you, and it doesn't matter if that is like Valthogor, the Dreaded's massive world-ending, death flare, or if it's a thief that threw a knife at you. It's going to tank one attack, and then it's going to break. Now this can either be really OP, or it can be kind of dookie. And it's really going to come down to how you use it. So, just wanted to put that out there. Being able to negate damage from a single attack is super powerful in the right hands. These guys are dicks. There's that one, and there's another one that's just turned around. I'm trying to lure them in. But be very careful around these things. These ones aren't too bad, but later on, you're going to fight one that is going to go all Avalon with you. So he's going to fire off those explosive bolts, but it's going to be like, ba 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 ba. You're going to see a volley of them come your way, and you're probably going to die. So, yeah, do not like those. You can get them as a summon, too. There's, like, almost everything you find in the game, with the exception of, like, a dragon as a summon. So what we just picked up, excellent early Faith weapon for my Faith boys out there. 16/16 and then 24 Faith has Blood Loss buildup. The unique ability stops enemies from using the Flask of Tears, which obviously is good mainly in PvP, but in PvE as well. If you're fighting against a PvE invader, it'll stop their ability to back up and heal. So all around, that's a solid weapon. I used that weapon from when I got it pretty much all the way to the end of the game. Can't go wrong with that. Now, up until now, we have been saving the majority of our keys, but this is one we're definitely going to want to get. Absolutely fantastic item in here. I can't wait to get my hands on. Let me pop this. You can see that bubble I have, and like I said, it's all about how you use it, because I had... you can see right there, that should have been a double hit. Instead, only one of the hits got me. But I had, in a lot of the tombs, like that area that's at the start of the game, where I said we're not going to do this for now, there's a couple of those, quite a few of them, where you go inside and you end up having to deal with, like, giant chariots, like Dark Souls 2 style chariots, except when they run you over, you just die. And using that, I was actually able to negate out a hit from one of those chariots. Ooh. Oh, some more. Come on, do your big Frosty. Oh, I was hoping for the ranged Frosty, not the AoE Frosty. This guy gets us the Radagon Scarseal, an absolutely fantastic early talisman. Well, there are two versions of this. There's Radagon Scarseal and Marika Scarseal. The Marika is more of a caster variant. So what this thing is in particular, go over to our equipment, we're going to put it on instead of Axe Talisman. This is going to boost up a bunch of attributes. So we're getting 3 to Vigor, 3 to Endurance, 3 to Strength, and 3 to Dexterity. But it's going to decrease our damage negation. So you can see we're like, 24, 19, 23, 23, 17, 27. You can see all of those are going to get decreased. So we're going to be into the negatives with lightning. But, I mean, we're getting 12 free stat points for it. So, to me, that's a huge value get. I will gladly take more damage in exchange for having that many stats. And later, there's even there's an upgraded version of it where you get 5 to each of those stats. So, take more damage, but get 20 free stats, which is outrageous. Especially for a build like this, with a quality build, like, those are 4 stats that I want. I want more stamina, I want more health, and obviously I want more dex and strength. So, really, really, really solid. Now moving towards like the late game, eventually we'll get to a point where I end up, I'm gonna end up taking that off just because, I don't want to take more damage and my stats will be at a spot where they're healthy. But right now, early on, that is a absolute huge value pick. And even though you're gonna take more damage, I think it's worth it because it'll give you practice rolling, which is what we want to do. We're gonna go over here. It's gonna be a big old thingy that summons up. Try and pop this before it starts doing a lot of stuff. These guys can be deceptively dangerous. Be very careful around them because they don't look like much, but they can start doing like that right there. As you can see how he's like multi-hit combo, and the dude will fire off both arrows. They can also do that in melee. So if you're not careful, these dudes will just be like, pop, 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 and they just go off on you, and they play the Cowboy Bebop opening theme, but on your face it's spears. So just be aware. Right, so we cleared everything here. Down in here, this is our sorceress friend that we met earlier. This is like her real body. The one over there is basically an astral projection. We get ambush shard. You can't do anything with her right now. She's just gonna talk about, you frothing degenerates, you're not gonna be able to stop me. She has a very long quest line. I don't think I have anything to fix the poison. We'll just heal through it. She has a long quest line, but it's much later in the game that we're gonna end up doing it. So I wouldn't worry about that for the time being. Let's go here real fast. Just get rid of the poison. Let's see, Evergaol, we got the Church and the Tier, Tombsward Ruins, and Ambush Shard and Selin. So we got a mausoleum here. I talked about these briefly, but I would suggest just marking their locations on the map. There's really no reason to come to those for the time being. So these are going to allow you to duplicate boss things. So just pick an icon that you think means like treasure or something. Or we'll do this because it's like a very unique thing. And just leave a marker for him. And that way oh hey, that's right, I got a spare boss thing down there I can duplicate. Next we're gonna run on up this hill. We're going right on over to here, and then that'll basically cover all of the western stuff out here. And then we go to the east, Oridys' Rise, Impaler's Catacombs, Crater Pocked Globe, and a tower with a hand ballista, Earthbore Cave, Demi-Humans. It's a lot to do. I'm gonna try and get all of it done this episode. Because ideally what I'd like to do is burn through all of Weeping Peninsula now, and then that way on the next episode we can focus entirely on Morn Castle, and then we can get started on Stormvale. So, we'll see. I want to kill this guy. And then you're going to hit this chest, and you're about to receive one of the biggest oh my god moments of this game. But you teleport Leyndell, the royal capital, and you're like, huh, where am I at? And you open the map. Oh, whole more region stuff uncovered. And it just gets bigger. Like I said, every time you find a new spot on their map and you're like, there's more, it gets bigger. Now this giant has a lot of health. Just to put things into perspective, Limgrave is the first zone. After that, I would recommend that you do most of Liurnia, basically like everything below where I'm drawing a line. Then we go over here and we do a bunch of stuff in Caelid, basically the lower Caelid stuff. We're going to do all the lower Caelid stuff. Then we go back and we do the upper Liurnia and then the upper Caelid, and then we go into the capital. So we're not actually going to come to this area for quite some time, but we can get a talisman that'll heal HP over time, which I personally don't use because the heal on it's kind of low, but I'm sure a lot of people are going to want it. If you really want to kill this guy, you can do the same strat that I've showed you until now, just 2 charged heavies on the legs, get a critical, but he just has a lot of health. It's going to take a while to take him down, and honestly, it's not really worth it, so just go on, get your Blessed Dew talisman, and then... Oh, I didn't talk about the needle! How could I forget? So earlier we picked this up. With this, you can alter garments, so with the Vagabond Knight armor, I can decide to take the cape off if I want. That's the whole thing with it. Basically, any armor that has capes, you can choose to take the cape off if you would like. Castle Morn Rampart, though, is where we want to go. Okay, and we're gonna go right up here and up and away. So this is our first real puzzle tower. I know I took y'all to one of these earlier, and I mean, I was just like, yeah, hop in this window and solve it. Bing, bang, boom, it's done. But this is like what they're usually like. That one, you know, you go over there and you can see seek 3 wise beasts, and now we need to go around and find wise beasts. And this one, it gives you a freebie. This one right here. After that, the next one is hiding in a bush. Where's he at? Where's my bush boy at? Right around here somewhere. I think I passed him already. Well, yeah, I did. Because I know one of them is right here in the lake. If you pay very close attention, you'll see bubbles. They came out. The bush one's easier to see from this angle. Where are you, bushy boy? About to just start swinging through these bushes until I find the bush that has them. There he is. And similar to the last tower, you're going to go in here and it's going to give you a memory slot. So, for my casters out there, happy day. Never tried climbing on this rampart thing. I just want to take a look. I don't know if I can even get onto it. It looks like a spot that might have some loot. Let me just take just a quick gander. Oh no, there is loot up there. I think it's a cookbook. Oh, the Great Turtle Shell. Yeah, I found that in the Let's Play. That would have been terrible if I'd forgotten to grab that for y'all. Great Turtle Shell is super, super good. It's a medium class shield, but as you can see, it has a ton of guard boost at 48. So, very, very strong. It also has Barricade Shield on it, which is a really useful ability. It's an Ash. It's honestly one of the best Ashes for guard counter style of play, because it braces up the shield and it allows you to tank basically any hit in the game and come back with a follow-up attack. So really, really solid choice. So now we're going to head up here to do the Impaler's Catacombs. Always run up the ruins looking for ruin fragments. There's a little fight that goes down here. Not much comes of it, but it's kind of like a unique dude, so we'll just kill him real fast. Okay, after that, follow this path around. We need to go pick up a longbow from the town. Actually, you know what? There's a really decent bow we get. It does partial magic damage a little bit. I might... Maybe we'll probably go grab that before we do Sunveil. Maybe after the Castle Morn episode, because that's not very long. Okay, looking at our current stats, I'm gonna pump more into vigor, head up to about 30, and I'll probably do a little bit more on dex and strength just to start meeting requirements for other weapons, because I do have in mind another weapon. So see how much stamina that cost us to block that? Now watch this. I need you to do a real attack. No. He's not doing real attacks. But I want to show you all barricade. So I get one that... do I not have any? Hang on. You can see it, he just bounced clean off of it. That's what makes barricades so nice for that counterattack style of play. Almost every attack is going to bounce off. So, you know, you put it on a great shield and stuff really bounces off. Initiating a barricade also blocks. And if you look in the top left, you can see the icon for it. As long as we have that little icon, it means barricade is active. They're already disappeared, but I'll point it out next time our HUD shows up, which is seemingly only in combat. Run straight over here on this trap. Otherwise, it'll throw you up into the spikes. And then through here, and then drop down. To get our lantern on. These guys are really slow, and they don't seem dangerous, but if you wait, they will group up and they'll grab onto you, and be like that. So don't underestimate them, just because they're slow moving. Number one rule of the Souls game is never underestimate the enemy. Find something that looks like a cute, fluffy bunny rabbit, and then it explodes and bites your face off, and then all of a sudden you're like, what happened? I'm not getting a ton of souls off of them though, so I'm not gonna sit here and kill every single one of them. As you can see, they're just gonna keep coming, so it's one of those things. Like, we killed a few, but we're just gonna move on past. Earthbore Cave. Man, there is a lot to fit into this episode. I'm gonna do it all. Ooh, Impet Cat. I don't think I've seen that one before. Feline Intelligence 2. There's a couple of those. There's Impet Cat. There's one that increases stamina. I've seen that one now. I've seen stamina. I have seen faith, and then I think I saw one more. I'm gonna kill these guys first. Nope, stop it. Oh my god. Jellyfish, if you could distract, that would be fantastic. The jellyfish is distracting. versus distracting the stuff I don't need it to distract. This is what I get for not... I should have healed up, and I should have pulled out my real summons. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, God. Okay, guy. Watchdog. That, bunch of root resin, and the Demi-Human ashes are actually really good. Really, really good. Let's see. So we still have Greater Poct, Earthbore Cave, Demi-Human Ruins, Village, Morn Tunnel, and Morn Rampart. Yeah, we're gonna have to wrap. There's too much to fit, unless I want to start doing hour-long episodes, which I would prefer not to. So, good chunk of this area left. Real fast, just to take a look at the summon that we just picked up. This one's pretty nice. It costs 69, but they 5 different spirits, and you know, there's a big one, there's some medium ones, there's some little ones. Whereas the Wandering Nobles summons up a lot, they kind of just sit there. They don't really do much. This summons up a whole gang of people, and they are ready to throw down. So, I can personally vouch for this one. I haven't tried this one, but in general, I find soldier spirits are very hit or miss. So, I'm going to go put a level into this one, and we'll see how they stack up against our skellies, because that is within my range of something I can cast. So, we're going to wrap things up here. We will close out Weeping Peninsula in the next episode, and I will see you all then.